Welcome back, and today I have two very special pens to show you. Both pens were turned by Alan Myers of Addicted2Pens. Alan, along with his son Tristan of Addicted2Blanks and his son Chris of Handyman Hobbyist, make up this family of pen turners and resin creators. Alan is an industrial engineer who got into turning pens about 8 years ago and has been making blanks almost as long. Alan says, I got into pen turning because I was fascinated with woodworking and what could be made on a lathe, and it just kind of took off from there with working with resins and bringing my sons into the hobby/business. On September 5th, on Addicted2Pens Instagram, I saw photos of the newly created blanks and a pen that was currently being turned, and I asked Alan what is the resin name, and Alan replied, still thinking of a name for this one. Alan is very open to letting his customers name his blanks, so when he said that he hadn't thought of a name for this one yet, my daughter Robin suggested the name Cosmic Cliffs. The Cosmic Cliffs are actually the edge of a nearby young star-forming region in the Carina Nebula. This image from the James Webb Space Telescope shows a landscape of mountains and valleys speckled with glittering stars. For my writing sample today, I will ink this pen with a very appropriate ink for a Cosmic Cliffs pen, and that ink is Colorverse Martian. Colorverse Martian is one of my favorite inks. I only wish that it was available in a larger size than this tiny 5 ml bottle. However, it remains one of my favorite inks, and I tend to hoard it for use in my favorite pens. I saw this completed pen on Alan's Instagram on September 10th, and I wanted it. So I shot off a quick message to Alan, and I got the pen. Alan said he was contacted by 3 people, but I was the first. I loved the resin as soon as I saw it and the photos of the partially completed pen. After all, it was a new resin, a newly created resin, and as far as I know, this is the first pen that was turned from that resin. And in addition, the fact that he allowed my daughter to name the resin, well, I had to have it. I requested a Jowo medium nib for my new pen, and it writes as smoothly as you would expect and puts a lot of ink on the page. And this Colorverse Martian is a wet ink anyway, which is what I prefer. This Cosmic Cliff's pen is an alpha model, and the resin has gorgeous swirls of blue and orange and white. As I said, my pen has a Jowo nib. The pen is a substantial size. It is not an overly large pen, but it is a nice weight and has a comfortable grip section. And the pen comes with a standard converter. And this is my other Addicted to Pens fountain pen, the Abalone Extreme 4.0. This resin was also poured by Alan. Alan says all three of us pour Abalone Extreme blanks, but slightly different styles and looks. This is also an alpha model, but this pen comes equipped, as you can see, with a nice gold tone clip. This pen has a backstory, like most of my pens really, in that I first saw this pen at the recent DC Fountain Pen Super Show. I did not go to the show looking for an Abalone pen. I did, however, go with the intention of finding the Addicted to Pens table, since I follow them on Instagram and Facebook. And I had in mind a couple of other pens that I had seen featured on their site, but this was the pen that kept catching my eye. And I would pick it up and look at it and say, but I didn't want an Abalone pen. And I would put the pen down and walk away, but I kept coming back, and I ended up leaving the show without it. So, you know what I'm going to say next. I contacted Alan after I got home and asked him, do you still have that pen? And he did. This pen has a fine fountain pen Revolution nib. And just look at the colors in that resin. They are almost like neon pinks and blues and purples. I think that blue stripe in it, it looks like it was shot through with a lightning bolt. And the pen is a comfortable size and has a comfortable grip, and it comes equipped with a branded Schmidt converter. And here we have the pens uncapped. Remember that they are both alpha model pens. The caps do not post. For today's writing sample with my Abalone Extreme 4.0 fountain pen, I have inked the pen with Diamine Jack Frost, which is a dark blue ink with an intense red sheen, which I think is a perfect pairing for an abalone pen that has intense colors. The abalone is actually a member of the gastropod family, which is famed for its iridescent shell that contains colors of green, pink, and purple. The shell is especially sought after by jewelry makers. And this has nothing whatsoever to do with fountain pens, except that it serves as an inspiration for people who pour resins. This is my first fountain pen revolution nib, and I was quite surprised at how much I enjoy writing with it. It has a crisp feel, but with little to no feedback. It puts a lot of ink on the page for a fine nib, and I'm very pleased with it. You can contact Alan or his sons through Facebook or Instagram at Addicted2Pens or Addicted2Blanks or Handyman Hobbyist. You can also contact Alan at alanmyers66@gmail.com. Alan offers custom turned pens, premium pen blanks, and pen making supplies, and I will include this information in the description box. To summarize, I will say that I am very pleased with both of my purchases from Addicted2Pens, both my Abalone Extreme 4.0 pen and my Cosmic Cliffs pen. I hope you have enjoyed this look at two absolutely beautiful pens. Thank you for watching.